Hello, I'm George Gonzalez, and I'm obsessed with making games. And today we're gonna level up by going over trail renders and mana usage for our enemy AI. So this will help you with trail renders, VFX, and also with how to attach consumption of mana, energy, whatever it is for your enemies, and how to do that over the network as well. But the main focus is just the little details that will save you time and headaches. For example, the first one is trail renders. If you enable and disable them, they will not clear. So you have to make sure that when you disable them, you clear them. So for example, in this case, we're going to enable a trail render for a slash attack. And then we need, if the guy keeps looping and attacking, the trail render will come back and it will do weird stuff. So let me show you that. And we will also go over specifics on changing the timing. So let me show you where we're at first. The enemy spawns at random levels. So I will not know if they're going to how much mana they'll have. So we'll click here and we'll try to get a hit here and there so you could see that. Okay, so it's level 4. So he'll have a bit. So you'll see he swings and he'll run out of mana and it'll be a white swing. So it won't be fire. Okay, after this, I think. Okay, does it do it? Yes, so it's white and he's regenerating mana, as you can see. So he has 0 mana. He keeps doing swings, a normal attack, and then he'll do fire. So he'll keep swinging and using mana. And if I look, let me see. I'm going to move this guy and see how the non-mana is white and the fire attack is actually, oh, he stopped attacking because I moved, probably broke something. But let's say he comes in and he swings with the red, with the fire, it'll be a fire effect. So, and if it's not fire, it'll be regular hit, like a blue. And we can make it white instead of blue. But right now it's just, I'm trying to say, can we switch things so that you could tell when it's using mana and when it's not? And we probably should add more effects. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to tweak. As you notice, the trail renders a little bit farther. It's not a nice arch. And so let's say you wanted to tweak that, right? So let's go into that so that you can understand what's going on and what we have set up. So we have the Axeman V2. So this Axeman has an animation event, and we have this script. So most of the stuff happens in this script, slash VFX handler. And this script, all it does, it reads the animation. Let me pull it over. So we have you've seen this before in the previous videos, but just to go over, the animation event will do a slash start and a slash end. And that's what we're going to tweak. Because at the beginning, we decide, okay, we're going to turn on the damage dealer so it deals damage. So there's a collider that goes through with that. And that's what creates the VFX and the actual damage to the player. Then we have this enemy base. Every enemy has an enemy base. And so the idea is that they'll have a Boolean that's network and say, hey, are we using mana? Yes or no. So that way we don't, the slash attack doesn't care how much mana we have or anything. All it says, hey, do we need mana? Are we using mana? Yes or no. If we are, okay, let's do the mana attack. And in this case, it's a fire VFX. So yes, in this one, it shouldn't be fire. It should be elemental slash. But if for the sake of getting things done, we'll do this. But eventually, this can be reused if we do elemental slash. So then we use the elemental effect. And then we set the neutral damage dealing to changing damage type to true. So this will change it so that it is using the element of its choice. And then in here, it's not using the element. So it's neutral damage. So we turn off the damage collider. We disable either effects, and then we do this for the trail. Like I told you, we have to clear. If we don't clear this, you get a weird trailing slash that comes back because it's just like a particle system. When a particle system emits particles, they'll be, even though you disable them, they have a lifetime, and that lifetime continues even when you disable them. Okay, so that is that. Let's change. So we are in here, right? We have this animator, and in this animator component, we can figure out our animation. So we have this attack animation, and that's where we created the event in here in this animation. And see how it's like this is because we have to go to the root, and in here we have events. And we set this in a previous video. And so remember how we mentioned the attack. So in here we can see that it starts back here, and we kind of wanted to do it right here maybe. And so we can slide it over, and we can keep tweaking this as much as we want. And so then it'll create this arch there. Probably. So this makes it so that the damage duration or the amount of time that it takes to actually deal damage is shorter, which maybe it's okay. So it can't do damage here, and then it can't do it here. but it can in between this arch. And so the effects will determine that. Okay, so you can adjust these. And now we can finesse, we save obviously, and then we go back, we'll do the same thing. We'll look at it. We haven't changed anything other than the timing, and you'll see that the trail effects will follow that. And so that's a nice thing about the event, is that you can keep tweaking them. And we could also update the animation without breaking that. So it's really nice. And we could always keep improving. Obviously, the VFX are not the best. They're just like a common trail, and it's not even for this VFX. I just pulled it up from another asset because I'm just testing. And then, okay, so you'll see and see how now the slash is a little bit quicker, right? It does the slash. And so it's working, right? And then we can do like a bigger slash. If we wanted to do like a linger, we could do that. If you wanted to do something where it does a slash and it lingers, I would spawn the VFX or do a pooling system and just let it live for however long it needs to. But for the sake of this, we just wanted to enable and disable so we could reuse the same trail effect. Okay, and so that is it. It's super simple. The other thing that I wanted to show you is for the setup. Here, what we did to create that mana system, because that's the other part of this, is using mana. And so we have an enemy base, and the enemy base has in here, we have an attack mana cost that we use. So every enemy will have, if they, and then they can use it or not. It's up to each enemy if it has an attack. And then that logic depends on how you use that on the enemy. So the enemy has the right to use this mana, whatever they do. So every enemy will have mana and health. And here, in the AI controller, we have for the attack animation, remember we are like, hey, we're attacking, and if the mana cost, if the NPC health where we have the mana, if the attack has a mana cost and it's less, we don't have enough mana, it's false. And if we do have enough, we'll set it to true and actually deplete the mana. So this is for the state authority. So the state authority on this Axeman enemy will continue to check this for the mana, and it will replicate to all the enemies, all the other guys. And then they'll set the trigger to attack, and this triggers that animation. But the animation plays on both ends regardless. And we can look at that later on our multiplayer Monday for details on how that's working and the delay, and if it's, because that's the second part of this is testing the network version and how we go into debugging that. But this is pretty simple, pretty straightforward, and it adds a nice tweak to the enemies so that there's more decisions for the game designer to create variables within the monsters. Right now, the mana cost is the same regardless of the level. We could change that if we wanted to, but the enemy's mana and health does go up based on the level, so they'll be able to do more magic attacks and whatnot. So that is already implemented with all the setups and what we've been doing. So this is a nice addition to what we were doing before with the attacks, to adding more variety to the attack. We'll see if there's anything that you want to look into with enemy AIs or anything for making games and keeping scope down and focusing on the essentials. Let me know below. I'm always helping developers finish games, and so I try to share what I know has helped me finish the games. We'll see you in the next video.